Ain't no room for doubt either, so you must believe. Cause the way I feel it ain't no limits but the speed. I trust in me and put my faith in.
Welcome on into Booby's World with Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa Alcalde. I'm Nick Padone. What's going on, guys? Booby, welcome back from Vegas. How was the trip?
Back in one piece?
Man, yeah, I made it back. I'm on fumes right now, but I had a great time, man. The basketball was perfect. Got to see some guys hoop. But I left disappointed, though, Ralph. I had a chance for romance, and I feel like I missed it again. And I think...
But do you miss the signs? Was it a pass ball, a wild pitch? I mean, explain yourself.
This was different for me because I'm not used to older women like approaching me that way, and like she approached aggressive, like she came in hot, and so I kind of just took it as a compliment initially, like, oh, thank you, you cute too. But then she kept coming, and so I left the pool like under the impression like I really wanted to get to know her a little better because she was bad, but I just had never been in that situation before. So if you're watching, because you told me you was going to watch the show, Fort Myers, Florida, I won't say your name, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put it out there. I don't know what you got going on, but Fort Myers, Florida, if you watching, shoot me that DM. I'll answer that and we can chop it up, man, because I feel like I missed my opportunity. This is my chance.
Let me give you some advice, man. When you're talking about, you say an older woman, obviously older than you. You're a young kid, but like there's no more need for getting to know each other. And
it's right to it.
It's right to it. They know what she knows, what she wants, what she's looking for. She saw it in you. I mean, you missed the sign.
It was giving sugar mama, but the thing about that is I don't even know if that's a real thing. Like have you ever met one? I think it's like Bigfoot. I don't know if like they like people talk about it all the time. You mean the
sighting is like Bigfoot, not her?
I don't know if not her. She was beautiful. She was beautiful. But I just don't know if you hear about them, but you've never met them. And I think I met one and I missed my chance. So
my advice, man, just go with it next time.
I will. I think I learned my lesson.
Don't question yourself.
All right, we gotta hop right into the basketball.
Yeah, let's get to the basketball.
Obviously, big time of year, NBA Finals. Booby, we look at that 2008-2009 season. Obviously, a final run for you guys that year before. A big question that we had going into the show was just about load management. Yeah. You look at both of these teams, two teams that have had some load management. Obviously, Denver with Jamal Murray, Miami with Jimmy Butler. Is load management, do you think it's a problem, or do you think that it actually benefits some of these guys?
I think it can benefit, and I feel like in this situation, I said it only benefits because Jamal Murray was genuinely coming off of a knee injury. So you have to load manage that injury. And even Jimmy Butler, there's a few instances this year where he was actually hurt. What I feel like it hurts is I feel like guys think of load management, and so they don't work as hard in the off season. They don't work as hard to prepare knowing that they won't have to play all of the games. And in my opinion, I feel like that just opens the door for more injuries because you're not preparing your body for 82 games. You feeling like, oh, I'll be able to take this time off. Whereas I feel like if you took the initiative and worked out before, we wouldn't be dealing with this, and not as many guys would be needing load management, in my opinion.
And I think, times have changed, too, because nowadays everybody comes into training camp in shape. Yeah. Everybody has come together. They have the mini workout. I mean, not everybody, but I'm saying for the most part.
Yeah. Overall,
the teams that are playing in May and in June are teams that have guys that probably 10 of them worked out together. We used to have guys that go to LA for the LeBron workout, and then in Miami with Kevin, whatever it was. I think when it comes to load management, injuries have a big part of it. Remember when Kawhi Leonard won with Toronto? I mean, he played half the games that season, right? And that I understand. The problem is what you just said. You just hit the nail right on the head. It's when it's just a matter of not playing or not being ready because you don't have to play. Most of these teams know that all they have to do is make the playoff, and then they'll get it together. But then they get the check.
And that's the part.
For not being in shape.
That's my problem is you got your check, but then the fan that spent their whole check to come and watch you play for one game, that might be the game that you could have played, but for that day you said, all right, I'm a load manage tonight and not play. And then you think about the guys of the past like your Grant Hills and your Penny Hardaways and your Tracy McGrady's that got hurt in their career. They weren't thinking about load management. They was thinking about getting on the floor anytime they was available. And that's why I got so much respect for a guy like LeBron James, even Ant Edwards who said it too. Like those guys, their main thing is availability. Just being there for their teammates and being on the court. And that's what you get paid to do. We get the big bucks to play basketball. So play basketball.
But just to be fair, and I think we have touched this subject before here, that it's not just the players.
Yeah.
Sometimes that the players being told, you're only playing,
Yeah.
you're not playing back-to-backs.
How we got all these medical advances in technology, but we got
now
more hurt,
you got the owners
people.
protecting their investments. Now you have the medical staff actually having a say. Now you have all these things they wear, and it tells you everything,
But then more
because analytics is not just on shooting and guarding and everything. So it's a little bit of blame on everybody. It's not just the player saying,
No, I'm
I don't wanna
agreeing.
play.
I'm agreeing, but I'm looking at the stats and I'm saying it don't work. It don't. The proof is in the pudding. If load management work, then why are we missing Kawhi in the playoffs? Why are we missing Paul George in the playoffs? Load management ain't got nothing to do with that. Basketball is just a tough sport. You could load manage all you want to and come and land on somebody's foot and still be out. So I just feel like if you could play, get out there and play.
Booby, was that something that was discussed in locker rooms when you were playing? Like a guy just taking a night off just for the sense of, kind of saving themselves for later in the year?
It might not be spoke on like loudly, but it will. You get your guys, those murmurs in the locker room where you just start to maybe lose a little respect for a guy. Cause you hurting too. Like 82 games, like we all hurting. Oh, you hurt more than me, so you need time off. So you lose a little respect for guys just being able to want to stand between the lines with you. But at the same time, you respect it because it is a long season. So I just feel like you gotta find that happy medium because too many guys are taking. And we talking about young guys that just got into the league taking load management.
But
That's
I don't
when
think
you're
that
supposed to get your numbers right.
I don't think there are many cases where in the playoff there are, if you're questioning your teammate in the playoff saying, dude, you're not playing, really?
Yeah, no,
right?
it's
in
more
the regular season, they always say, well, if this game matter, he will play. If not, so I think it depends. I don't.
Yeah, that's just that locker room talk. Like the locker room talk when God like Kobe gonna play with a broke finger or broke
Well, he did,
everything. And with the respect that gets you in the locker room, like he could tell me whatever because I know he leaving it all out there on the floor.
You're
but
playing, if you heard a little hurt, you're playing.
I'm
you don't want
because you don't want to hear that. But these guys, they sit out and then you want to talk to a guy about playing hard. Now they like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Alrighty, we are going to snag our first quick commercial break. When we come back, it's more Booby's World with Booby 4-3. We'll catch you then.
Booby for 3.5.
Yeah, if you're talking to Rafa, Booby for 4 or 5.
Alrighty, welcome on back into Booby's World with Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa Alcalde. I'm Nick Padone. Every week on the show, the guys break down their top 3 of whatever we want to talk about. Throughout the NBA playoffs, we identified some fake tough guys around the NBA, and we were just talking about how tough it is to grind out a whole 82-game season. I hear you, Rob. So today, we're actually going to rank the top 3 toughest guys in the league today. Booby, I'm putting you on the spot. We will start with you.
I'm gonna throw it to Rob because I'm gonna see if he say my guy first.
Well, I gotta tell you something. It depends how you define tough. What you just said, fake tough, right? Like it's tough a guy like Draymond Green who is gonna play you mentally and physically and all kinds. So I would put him, as much as I don't like adding him on any list.
Okay,
I think Draymond Green.
We agree there.
Draymond Green had to go on that list because it definitely is a tough dude to deal with, and since it's like recency bias count as well, I think Jimmy Butler has shown to be one of the toughest dudes in the thing. And I'm gonna as my third guy because I guess Boobies for 3 means that only 3 picks I can give.
No halves.
As much crap as he gets for his game, and as much as he has not been able to win a title, I think Russell Westbrook is a tough dude.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Sure.
So I'll put him in there, although there's plenty other choices, but I just like to throw him because I appreciate his toughness, his game. So.
Got you. Nah, I can appreciate that. For me, I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna go Dylan Brooks because he's one. He falls in that group of the guy that just all bark, no bite. But see, I'm more of the Iron Man type, and I just go back to Kobe. For me, I'm a Devin Booker type guy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of with Devin Booker, it gets put on his ability to score the basketball. But he just still holds. He's one of the last guys holding on to that Mamba mentality. That's like, I'm just gonna get out here every night, give you everything I got. And I actually saw him really stepping up and playing defense this year. So, Marcus Smart, he still fall on the fake tough guy side to me too. So even though he plays really hard, he still is a lot more bark than it is bite. So I'm gonna go with Devin Booker on my last one.
I was gonna say, the three Jokic brothers are like the toughest dudes in the NBA.
You don't want no smoke with them. And I know right now they waiting for Jimmy Butler, any one of them to say anything, because they was waiting at the exit last time after they had that altercation. So that should
Speaking
be
of
fun.
fake tough.
What's crazy about those?
I don't think there's nothing fake about the Jokic
I'm talking
brothers.
about the twins.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy too about them? No social media, nothing. They're just straight about the action. What kind of identifies a fake tough guy? Because we've floated out. You mentioned Marcus Smart, Dylan Brooks certainly fell into that category for some of the mishaps that he had throughout this season. What makes like a guy in the NBA like actually like this dude's tough? Like guys respect him in the league versus this guy is just out here trying to get. But like maybe what I said, Instagram followers, just trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, the ones that gonna just show up and not say nothing. Yeah. Them the ones that you really need to be afraid of. And I didn't mention my guy, but he's earned his living in the NBA as that, and that's PJ Tucker. Like PJ Tucker to me, he ain't gonna say a single word to you the whole game, but I promise you're gonna have to ice for 2-3 days after the game.
Even if you're his teammate, you gotta
be hitting everybody. Everybody, teammates included. But PJ is one of those guys that you ain't gonna never hear him talk about how tough he is. You just gonna see it every time he on the floor. And to me, that's the difference. Like the real ones are not. I ain't gonna say nothing.
It's that there's a ton of guys with all bark and no bite. You mentioned Dylan Brooks. I mean, he definitely showed. Yeah. When you go and you say you poke the bear.
Yeah.
And then
walk out and don't talk to the media. Yeah.
And then you say the media is trying to turn you into a villain.
Yeah,
you're talking. Yeah. Now you're hiding behind something. So I think there's plenty of that. I like the guys like Steven Adams, for example.
Yeah,
that is one tough dude that he doesn't say a thing, but nobody wants to mess with him.
I done see him pick up grown men in the middle of fights, just two hands.
Yeah. And he doesn't like to fight.
Smoke with Steven
He doesn't
want
to fight, but
don't pick me up.
But he will. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man, Steven. Don't pick me up off the ground, man.
Yeah, I think
I gotta see you in the back. You pick me up. Yeah.
Alrighty, we are going to snag another commercial break. When we come back, we're going back down memory lane with Booby. Stay with us.
Shoot it, Booby. That's what they say. Especially the ladies.
Alrighty, welcome on back into Booby's world with Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa Alcalde. I'm Nick Padone. This whole episode, we've been talking about the difficulties of
before you going forward. I'm sorry to interrupt. How come you guys use your name and I only use my nickname? It's like instead of like Rafa Hernandez Brito.
It rolls off. It rolls off the tongue so smooth. And when I say it, I just hear you doing this C instead, and it just sounds so good coming out of my mouth. No, but for real, this whole episode we've been talking about the difficulties of long NBA seasons. Booby, your rookie year, you guys played 102 games, including that playoff run. What kind of adjustment was that for you as a young guy, and you had to make that adjustment coming straight out of college?
Well, I mean, I got lucky because I couldn't get in the game for the first half of the season. Like I was trying to,
you were fresh.
I was trying to earn my spot. Nah, I'm messing with you. But physically, I was good. But like you said, mentally, like in college, you only play 34 games if you're lucky, and so you really don't even know what your body is capable of. Like physically, you tell yourself you could do it, but when you flying into different cities every day and having to play against top tier competition, after a while, like you just want your own bed and just a day to recharge. So that rookie wall is real. And it was just one of those things where I didn't even know that I was slumping or couldn't make shots. You just look up one day and you'd have missed 12 shots in a row on
That's
the floor.
why I'm
You
not
like,
playing.
and you like, exactly, you like, what's happening? But all of them go through it because what you also understanding is you playing against grown men every day. And you got to adjust to that physicality too, because you don't get that physicality in college. So it almost just like weighs on you until that switch flips. Then your body and you start to understand that it's capable of more. You just got to add a little strength.
And we also heard, and we have lived. I seen it that obviously in the playoff, every possession matters more. More possessions are less, so you got to take care of it. Everybody plays harder and all that. But how big a difference is from the regular season to the playoff and all the way to the finals? The mental overload, because now you're just working on one team and then you're being fed video and all kinds of things, the things you're going to do, the adjustments. Yeah. So I think that had to be one of the hardest parts, because the physical part, I mean, you're in shape, you might be hurt.
Right.
Everybody can do it, right? You just got to have it in you to give it a little more. But the mental portion of it, I think, is what the biggest test is.
Yeah, you've played the whole year, and like you said, you played basketball your whole life, so you're able to push over the physical hurdles. But I also feel like that's why a lot of rookies really don't get the opportunity to play in the playoffs, because I feel like that you got to earn a certain level of trust, because you said every possession counts. I watched one game where the Lakers playing the Nuggets, and I believe Christian Braun got out there. He made one mistake. Mike Malone, come out. I mean, he might have played 0.3 seconds that game. Yeah. But that's when you're a rookie, that's the least that you're on from a mental standpoint, because all the guys that have been there before kind of understand not to get too bothered by mistakes, or not to get too high or not to get too low. So that mental aspect is key to having good mentors around you during the season, and then really just paying attention and like growing, because it's tough to make that transition, not only in the regular season, but really when it goes up to another level in the playoffs. You got to be a different type of rookie. You got to be a different type of rookie to shine on that stage, you know?
You come in with the mentality you don't want to make mistakes, because obviously in the playoff, you make a mistake, you're going down. But in your case, was it just basically concentrating on making your name or yourself shown on the defensive side, even though you're a shooter?
That was it. That was it. So I got lost in playing defense and stopping guys from scoring, because I feel like if I could do that, then I would get the opportunity to show I can make shots. So that was just more or less my focus. And I don't know, I just got it. I be really zoned out on the floor. Like, you really, like, even I tell you the story when Coach was like, the first shot I made, he was like, you better make the second one more. Like, he scared that would scare the life out of another player. But me, like, I be so zoned out from how hard I work. Like, it's a unwavering confidence in my ability to make shots. So that was kind of why I feel like mine was just a little bit different. I'm a little crazy when it come to shooting and making shots. I feel like I can make any shot ever.
All right, so we talked about the highs and the long playoff runs. Let's talk a little bit about the lows. On the flip side, in 2011, you were part of the 26-game losing streak, which ended up being historic.
Don't say that too
at
loud.
the time. But Booby, for real, was it hard to stay motivated during that streak? Because it's just like, I feel like probably as an outsider looking in, it's just like another game. Like, when's that win gonna come? When can we, kind of shake this off? What was that like for you guys?
Ooh, that was probably my hardest time as a basketball player, because I had always won. Like, even when I came in, like my first year, we won. So it was like I didn't even know what that was like. And then that was a year where we couldn't really get any free agents. So, like, we didn't really have, like, a go-to guy that we could just get a ball to and say, get us a bucket when we needed it. So, to be honest with you, Nicky P, I had no idea when we was going to win another game. And it was terrifying, because we was getting closer and closer to the all-time record. And that's just what I did not want to break. And so, but the thing that kind of helped us going, it sounds cliche, it was the fans. The fans was still showing up. We lose 20 games in a row. They would still show up and cheer us on to get that win. I remember playing against the Clippers, I believe. That's when we won that game. But the fans, it was like getting to that point where it started to get a little nervous. But the fans was there to kind of push us through. So I've been there for the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. But that's why we so close. That's why we got this relationship.
It was an overtime win too, Boo. You made us sweat it out, bro.
You sweat it out. Imagine feeling 25 losses before that.
I can't imagine what that felt like on the road. Because at home, at least you go home.
Yeah.
But on the road, you gotta get on the bus.
It's painful. Then
you gotta get on the plane. And I'm telling you something. This is true, and this is me that I just called the games. Winning is awesome.
Yeah.
your jokes are funnier. The food tastes better. Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah,
when you lose, I mean, getting on that bus and nobody's saying anything, and everybody, you want to be quiet. About 26. Those plane rides must have been.
Ooh, that was a tough time. I'm over here sweating underneath. Sweating, just think about it.
What was the mood like in the locker rooms? Was it just weird, quiet, hostile? Especially because you get tired.
These guys love winning, but they hate losing a lot more.
More. So everybody tempers is flaring quicker. You got more. It's like so much tension in the room. You think it's gonna be a fight every day because you telling this person he need to do more, and it's just everybody breaking apart. So that's not something you want to be a part of. No. But it did build character. I knew one thing. I didn't want that to happen again. So it did do that at least.
For sure. When we talk about some of these long seasons, and you mentioned the plane rides, the bus trips, everything that goes into it, Rafa, from your perspective on the announcer side of things, what does that look like for you? Obviously, traveling with the team, kind of constant back and forth. How's that change your routine?
I'm telling you, it all depends on how the team is doing. Because I know people would tell you, as an announcer, you shouldn't care if your name is not in the score sheet. Who cares if they? I think that's bull.
Yeah.
I hate losing, and I hate the mood, and I hate that. But in terms of traveling with the team, it's just great because that's where you develop the relationship with the guy. That's where you share meals, and that's where even after the pandemic has been even better because there's been more time together because nobody was going out at the beginning and everything. So it's to me, it's the best part of the job.
Yeah,
to be able to share time with this guy, going to practice in the morning, those shoot around, those 9:30.
That's where you develop that love at, though.
Yeah,
like you seeing just how much guys really care, how much effort they putting into it. So when they take a L and L's like that it might affect their career in this league and your career in this league.
And in my case, when we go on a road trip and we lost 3 in a row, we come back at 3 in the morning and there's practice the next day at noon. Yeah. I make sure I show up because I want the guys to see that I'm in it too on the batter because I don't want it to come to practice. And in my mind, it's like they look at that corner, there's nobody from the broadcasting department.
Nobody cares.
It's like, come on, dude. So I'm there even on I make sure the worst times I'm there just
through the mud
because I'm going through it as well. Even though obviously you guys put in a lot more than we do, but it's like one of the things that I learned coming from doing national broadcast was that I enjoy the winning so much more, but the losing sucks. Like that first finals we lost in 2014 was like really bad. That was the worst I ever felt in my life. Even though obviously we lost after that, but just learning how much it sucks to lose. It's not a good feeling.
You just invest too much, man. It's too much invested in your squad.
Rafa, you're always a part of our team, always part of the Cleveland.
I'm always there, man.
Always there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Booby's World. Until next time.
West Palm Beach?
We'll see you.
West Palm Beach?
No, Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Yeah.
By the props way.
Call me, baby.
Success ain't no stops made.
Ain't no
room for doubt either, so you must believe. Cause the way I feel it ain't
Dude,
no
we need to
limits
talk to
but
the
the
airport,
speed.
man.